Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to the Digital Empire. Also, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be posting content pretty daily now because this is my first year doing Vlogmas. I didn't get to do it last year, but I'm doing it this year, and I'm starting it. Well, I started it yesterday, but I'm gonna get videos out all the way up until Christmas Day and a little after Christmas Day. Solely focused on cybersecurity and what I'm learning, and like showing you guys like different things that you can learn in cybersecurity. So yeah, if you're interested, stay tuned and get ready for Vlogmas. So today, this topic is going to be about something that I touched on a little bit in my last video, but I wanted to save the details of it for this video so I could have, content to post. And I thought it deserved its own video because there's a lot that goes into these events, and I think you guys should really check them out because they will help with everything. It'll help with your confidence. It'll help with interviewing. It'll help with networking. It will help with finding new friends. It will help with building your skills. So I really think that you guys should check out hackathons and CTFs. So I had an idea for 2020, like scheduling and doing a challenge of going to a certain amount of hackathons next year. And I kind of got this idea from my favorite YouTuber right now, Mary Jane. She's a world traveler. I'll leave a link to her channel below. But she actually visited 100 countries last year, and I thought that was like so awesome. So I was like, oh my God, I wonder how I can incorporate that concept into my channel, because I'm not a world traveler yet. But I was like, why don't I just film myself going to different hackathons and CTFs? Since I'm like an experienced hackathon and CTF goer, I can show you guys how to prepare, how to get ready. If you didn't watch my last video, go watch it. I explained the difference between the two. I actually learned that you can get into once you start winning these competitions and you start getting better at these competitions, you can get invited to ones where they're more private, and you can win like large sums of money for winning a project. And it's like something people do full time, and they do all year round because they've gotten good at it, they practice it, and they go and just go to hackathons and CTFs and win these large lump sums of money as a living. So I was like, I wonder if I could get into that type of lifestyle to where like I'm traveling to the point where I do hackathons and CTFs full time and go and win them and get money. I'm still baby steps. I haven't even gotten to that point where I've demoed enough or won enough CTFs to get to that point, but I would like to. I was gonna do a blog post where I talked about or gave you guys ideas of like each one that I went to, but I can't really remember, and I don't have any of the t-shirts that I got from these events because I threw them out because I wasn't really wearing them. But something kept telling me, keep your t-shirts, keep your t-shirts. You're gonna need them one day, keep your t-shirts. And I just didn't want to keep them. I just gave them away to Salvation Army. But now I need my t-shirts. But it's a good thing that I collected my little cases and stickers from the event, so I could talk about where I got each sticker and what was the experience like. So I'll start with this one. Actually, I think this one is my oldest one, the one that I'm using now. I think this is the one that I first started out with, and then this one is my youngest sticker collection. So I don't like sticking stickers directly on my MacBooks because my MacBooks are my babies, and I don't want to have to, you know, because this is why I do this, because it's like, what if I end up not liking a sticker? What if I run out of space and I can't continue sticking stickers, and then like one day I switch up and I'm like, I don't really like this anymore. Like, I want all these stickers off of my MacBook. So that's why I ordered these clear cases off of Amazon. And this would be something good to add to my Amazon store. So you guys can go and check them out if you're the if you're the type like me to where like you don't like putting stickers or sticking stuff on your MacBook. You can buy a clear case and it'll still look like your MacBook. It'll still look like it's your MacBook, but you're like just sticking it on the case. This is my MacBook Air, by the way. My dad got me this when I first moved to the DMV. This is what it looks like. And this was what I was using when I first became an undergrad. And I was using this for like Kali Linux hacking. And you guys know this doesn't have really good specs on it for that type of horsepower. So this is also my current MacBook Pro. I have 3 cases. Actually, no, this was my first case because I wanted a marble. This was a marble case, okay? This was a marble themed case, like a gold marble. As you guys can see, it still kind of see the little marble. And I covered it up with stickers. So that's why I started getting the clear cases, because I was like, there was no point in buying this case and I was gonna fill it up with stickers. Yeah, I'm gonna start with this one. So on this one, let's see. We'll start with hackathons because that's what I started doing first. Okay, so I did Technica, which is a all women's hackathon event. Even though they had a few boys there, and I was just kind of like, why is there boys here? Like, this is supposed to be an all women's hackathon event. But I guess they were helpers. They weren't really participating in the event. It was mostly women. I didn't know that they were going to let us spend the night there. They were going to provide us like sleeping bags and stuff like that. So when I got there, my one of my friends that I used to hang out with actually dropped me off there, and I arrived when everybody was asleep because I got there kind of late. And so I finally got myself in, and they had like sleeping bags and like little mats and stuff like that. And I liked that because at other hackathons that I had been to, they didn't give you sleeping bags or sleeping, mattresses and stuff to sleep on. You just kind of like slept where you slept. Or some people would bring their own sleeping bags or mattresses and sleep that way. But this one, they actually provided, stuff for us to sleep on. It wasn't enough because it was a bigger turnout than what they expected when I came. I think we were one of the largest they had in a few years. So, but it was so nice. I love the colors. This is another sticker. It was like a blue and pink theme. And let's see, I didn't really present anything. I was there. I brought my laptop and I set up there, and I was working on learning HTML and CSS. But as I'm walking around and I'm meeting people and seeing these women build their projects, there's these high schoolers, these middle schoolers and these high schoolers that are building things like these complex projects with code. And I'm like, I'm so far behind. Like, what the hell? They feed you at these events. They feed you because I think it's illegal to, hold someone in an event for 24 hours and expect them to work for 24 hours on a project and not feed them and not provide any type of food, especially to these young girls. They fed us there. The food was pretty good. And when we got to the point where we were demoing, I started walking around, and I started meeting the other girls, making friends, making connections. And I started checking out their projects, and I'm like, these girls are in high school, middle school, building these complex projects. And here I am over here, just, you know, learning how to, I'm still learning CSS in depth, you know, to build my website. And there were some black girls that I met there that literally, they didn't build anything like super extravagant with code. They literally built because they give you a theme for each hackathon. And for this hackathon, I think it was like spreading awareness for, I think it was like impoverished communities, or like helping foster kids like be able to get resources that they can't usually get. I think it was centered around that. And these black girls built this website to where you can go and like find resources, and foster kids could go and find resources and find out like how this affects the community, and find other people that were, you know, that were in foster care, and you can connect with them and be friends with them and stuff like that. It was really cute and really like really nice website, something simple. And then another group of girls built this app where foster kids can kind of like, they can go and find like stores open where they can get food, they can go and, you know, find transportation, just think, and people who they can reach out to and talk to. They built that app. So I thought that was so sweet. I thought it was so nice that they did that. And I'm just sitting here like, these apps look like legit apps, like apps that you would go on your phone and use. And these websites look like legit websites, and these softwares are like legit softwares that you would download. And I'm just like, I have chosen the right career field, because oh my God. There was another group of this young girl, these young girls, I think they were like 8th graders in middle school, built this simulation, almost like they got these like little handheld things. Basically what they did was they connected these handheld motion sensor things to their laptops, and kids could go and learn how to cook. It was a simulation to learn how to cook, and they were like sitting there picking up things, working things. And I'm just sitting here like, what the heck? Like, these girls are really geniuses in here. Like, I've seen some of the craziest stuff. There's another group of girls who built a VR experience. This was like the coolest one that I remember. They built a VR experience, and I tried it. I put it on, and they built it on their phone. One of them used the phone. I think it was an Android, and they put it in the VR, and it was a simulation to fly. So when I put it on, I'm like literally flying in this like simulated world, and I'm like getting the experience of flying, and I'm like, I was amazed. I was really amazed. And then there was another girl she was a black girl. She was like, I think in high school still, about to graduate, go to college. And I met her, and she said that she had been to a bunch of these events and won them and gotten a job. She was setting up, she had gotten an internship, and they were ready to hire her at all these other jobs, and they wanted to fly her out to go speak at these events. And I got her contact, but I eventually ended up losing it because my phone is always like just ridiculous. But she told me how like she had won money for some of these events. She had won money for demoing. She had gotten offered jobs. People were calling her. She had built websites and apps for people because they liked the way she designed things. And she was just telling me everything about what she had experienced at these events. So that was one of my favorite events because it was all women's, of course. I learned so much from the girls there, and it was such a nice event. I felt so at ease because when you're in events with like men, sometimes I don't know what it is about men and them having to like show off what they know all the time, and you know the term mansplain and stuff like that. They try and mansplain things to you, and then like they can be kind of condescending and make you feel uncomfortable because they're trying to make you feel like you don't know what you're talking about. It just wasn't like that. Like, the girls were so nice and was not making me feel uncomfortable. I just felt at ease. I just felt like I could sit there, work on my website, work on my skills, and just be good. Like, I loved it. But yeah, I just wish there was more events like that where it was like all women, so we could feel a little bit more comfortable in our environment. I also remember at this event that there was a CTF, right? I actually won this CTF because a previous CTF and I had learned this skill. This is what I tell y'all. Go to them, build your skills, because you might see that same challenge pop up at another one and you end up winning. So me and this girl from my school, she was also in cybersecurity. She showed up. She ended up staying there with me for a little bit until she had to leave. And we both went to the CTF event, and they gave us like one question to be able to hack. Now, I think me and the other girl were the only ones that were in cybersecurity, I think, and that was actively studying it. I think everybody else in the room were software engineers. And so they gave us this challenge. I had figured out the challenge. I think it was like SQL injection. It was SQL injection, and basically you had to hack into this account to be able to get the answer, and you won like the Watchdog game, which is like a hacking video game, and something else. So I ended up telling the girl who I came with the answer, and she ended up winning the game before I did. I don't know why I did that. I ended up telling her SQL injection, like this SQL injection, and she ended up raising her hand and getting the prize. And then I ended up getting like second place. I think I got like a sticker and something else, but she ended up getting the game. And I'm just like, and she ended up telling people, they were like, yeah, she was like, when we went back to school and they found out that we went, she ended up telling people, oh yeah, she told me that it was SQL injection. I just ended up raising my hand, you know, and I'm just like, but I really won the event. I won the event, but she took my whatchamacallit. Yeah, we ended up winning the event for our school, and word got out that we did that, and we got mentioned on the cybersecurity news site. That was my first experience. Not my first experience, but one of my first experience at an all women's hackathon event. Oh, I just remembered the one that I demoed. Y'all, oh my God. So I demoed I have a story, I just remembered. Another one that I went to was this Jewish one. Y'all, me and my classmates, it was me and two guys. One of them actually was my ex, but he ended up coming with me. I ended up taking him to these events because he wanted to get into the tech industry. So he ended up wanting to come to these events with me. And the other guy was a guy that I eventually found out. A lot of these guys ended up having crushes on me because look how I look in the tech industry. Like, who you know? Who you know? Okay? Most of them ended up, they seen me in the tech industry and they're like, what? You in tech? But, you know how that goes. I forgot what we built. We were trying to build this project with the Raspberry Pi and make the pie. We were building a project for our school, our cybersecurity club, so that the kids could come in and tap their finger onto this finger scanner that we had brought. But the finger scanner was like very timid, like it was very like sensitive, and I think we ended up messing it up. And I was going to use, what's it called? PHP and SQL. It's not SQL, but it's SQL. But I was saying SQL at the event. And so basically we ended up doing this. I was going to use PHP, and there's this thing that I had learned how to use at the time. I had learned how to get data from a website. Like, I had learned how to build a website and build a login and pull that information from that website and post it into a database. Yes, my SQL database. So I had learned how to use my SQL database and build a database and be able to pull that, make a login, put the login in the SQL database, and be able to authenticate a user through a website after they had logged in, okay? Or be able to like pull data, like if you were filling out a form, be able to pull out or pull that data from the form so you can be able to go through the form and tell who has signed up for something. So we were gonna do that. I was building the database and the guys were building the fingerprint scanner and trying to connect that. So we were trying to connect that and we were going to present that, but we eventually didn't get it to end up working. We got the database to work. We got everything to, all the data to authenticate. I got my part up and running, but we just couldn't get the Raspberry Pi to connect with the database so that the scanner would be able to authenticate the user into the club. And so we were going to implement this in the club, and we ended up demoing this at a Jewish hackathon event. Y'all, we didn't know it was called, I think it was J-Hacks. It was called J-Hacks, and our school told us about this. We didn't know that J meant Jewish. So we show up, all these Jewish guys, these Jewish girls and guys were there. They had their, you know, hat on. The girls had like their, you know, their attire on. And we're just like, me and the other guy, we were the only, I think, 2 of the only 3 black people at this event. And then my ex was Puerto Rican. So like, he's a person of color at this event. And I think he's the only Hispanic one at this event. So we're just like, he felt like the minority at this event. We sat there. They were nice people. It's not like they made us feel uncomfortable. Like, they were really nice. I remember one of the guys, I think he was like one of the coordinators. He was coming and trying and helping us with our project, you know, trying to help us connect our scanner to the database and stuff like that. And he was speaking all these like software engineering terms to us because he was going to school for software engineering, and I'm just sitting there like, okay. A lot of the times these men would come up and they would give us a lot of information, and they would be talking to us because I was genuinely trying to get my projects to work. And a lot of the times these men would come up and they would be, you know, explaining all these terms to me, and I'm just like, I don't know, like, this is new to me. I only took 1 C++ class and I barely passed that, even though I passed with an A, but still. And we still just didn't get it because we were in school for cybersecurity. We were learning how to set up Kali Linux, how to crack passwords, how to, you know, analyze malware, how to, you know, set up, what you call it, hacking tools and stuff like that. We're not learning how to build apps and code and stuff like that. Even though if you know software engineering and you know hacking and you combine the 2 together, you're lethal. This is why I learned coding. I'm learning Python and I'm learning cybersecurity because Python and cybersecurity go together like peanut butter and jelly. We ended up getting up in front of everybody at this event and demoing our project. And I was so nervous, but I got up there. I have this trick to where, like, when I'm nervous about going up in front of a bunch of people, I go kind of like out of body and put myself in, I kind of think of myself as like a celebrity, and I get up in front of people and I'm like, all these people know who I am, like I'm that girl and I'm gonna knock it out the park. I'm gonna get up here and act like I know what I'm talking about. And another thing that I do is I always dress nice. Like, I always make sure that I look good, because when you look good, you feel good, and when you feel good, you do good. I always make sure that I do that. So that's a trick. I get up there, I act like people know me already. I'm a celebrity. I can't do no wrong. And then I get up there and I dress nice. I make sure I look good so I can feel good while I'm presenting and I'm not as nervous. So yeah, that was that event. And let's see, another event was that I demoed at. Oh, we tried to do the same project at this other event, and we just tried to pick up where we left off. And this is where I found out I realized that a lot of these people work on their projects before they come to the event, because I'm like, I know good and damn well y'all are not building these big projects in 24 hours. I know that y'all are working on these projects before y'all come here. Like, y'all are planning and plotting. I understand, like, you plan and plot, you get your steps together, so when you come there, you're able to follow those steps and get them done. But I know some of these people had come there with their projects, like, you know, a good 2/4 done, and then they work on the other half, you know, at the event. We ended up bringing the same project that we had, you know, somewhat finished, and we were gonna work on the second half of the project of getting the scanner to work. And I think it was just the fingerprint scanners we were using, and I think I might end up recreating that project on my channel to see if I can get it to work, because I really want to be able to get that to work. That's something that I left off on that I really want to finish. I'm the type of person where, like, if I didn't get it to work, I want to get it to work, and I'm not gonna leave it alone until I find out why it wasn't working or force it to work. And I think that's it. We demoed that. We got a demo sticker at that event. We couldn't get it to work again, even though we got it close to working. We got it to the point where it was pulling our fingerprints, because it gave us the software for the fingerprint scanner, and we were pulling fingerprints sometimes, and we would get the fingerprint to show up, but it just didn't work. That's my experience with hackathons. I don't know if I explained this already, but you're gonna get swag. Swag in the tech community is basically like cool stuff that you can get at the community. T-shirts, pins, little tools that you can use in the industry, like USBs. I don't know what else. They give you pens, pencils, highlighters, USBs. I remember at one event they gave us like a fan that you can plug into your computer in the USB part, and it'll cool you down. It'll use the power from your laptop. Use the power from your laptop, and you can face the fan towards you, and it'll cool you off while, you know, it's using your fan's power and you're working. Keychains, they give you all kinds of stuff. I've gotten a blanket at an event because these events are usually cold as hell. Working in tech is just, it's cold. That's this one, the Small Business Week hackathon right there. They wanted us to build something related to like the Visa API, and like, you know, it was, I forgot what the mission was, what we had to do, but we had to build something with the Visa API. Also been to Big Camp, which is like a really big one up here. Big Camp is like really nice, and a lot of these, like I said, I don't know if I said this before, but they are held usually at colleges, at schools. So you can find I'm sure you can find hackathons. I'm gonna try and find hackathons 2020 where I don't have to be a student, and they accept people from all ages to come and learn and network and build projects. So that's my mission for 2020. Okay, I don't know what number I'm gonna ask you guys, and see how many hackathons I can go to, hackathons and CTFs I can go to in the year 2020. So yeah, that's my hackathon experience. And now we're gonna move on to CTF events. The difference between, if you, like I said, you watched my last video, you'll know, but if you don't, CTFs are basically called capture the flag events, and you can go to these events and you can pretty much hack. You'll come in, and it's usually not a 24-hour event. It'll be held for like a few hours, and they'll give you some time to get through the challenges and, you know, go up on the scoreboard. You can have teams, or you can work by yourself, but most of them that I went to, I was on a team. You go in and you register your team, and they'll give you the website and everything to log into and go into, so you can get access to the challenges, and your team gets on this scoreboard. I don't know if you guys have seen Mr. Robot. He attended a hackathon, not a hackathon, he attended a CTF. If you haven't seen Mr. Robot and you're interested in getting into the cybersecurity career, I highly suggest that you go watch this show. It's very realistic. Like, he is a god in the show. You go in and they give you this platform. You log into the platform and they have like these different sections that you can go through, and they'll have like sections like cryptography, digital forensics, password hacking, malware analysis, Python security coding. My favorite one is cryptography, because I love, and if you know what cryptography is, it's basically the act of like decrypting or like encrypting hidden messages and like numbers and symbols. I learned about this, that Edgar Allan Poe was actually an elite cryptographist. So I went to, let me see, I think it was this one, this event here. This is a networking event. They also do CTFs here, B-Sides and DC. If you're in DC, this is a really good event to like go and meet people, you know, do hacking events, learn how to lockpick, learn how to do all types of stuff, go into talks and learn about stuff like this. So Edgar Allan Poe actually was an elite cryptographer, and I learned about this at that event, and people used to send him coded messages and he would decrypt them, and they would send him these, that what they thought were really hard cryptographic messages, and he would go and decrypt all of them. And he got to the point where he started playing with them because he was like, this is the best y'all could do. Like, I'm elite. Like, he was cracking every single one of them. Like, there wasn't a message that they had given him that he could not crack. I did not know that he was like a cryptographer and could like crack messages like that. And it became really big back in the day when he was doing it. They had him in the news, like in newspapers, and how he was like cracking all these messages and stuff like that. It was crazy. I love going and trying to use these different websites that have these algorithms that you can use to crack these cryptographic codes. And usually I would get my team really high because I would just run through them things like crazy, because I just liked doing that. They'd be like, oh my God, like, how are you cracking these codes? Like, how are you doing this? I'm just like, I just like to do it. Like, it's just so fun. I'm that type of person that likes to solve puzzles. So when I learned how to solve a Sudoku puzzle, I think it was in 5th grade. And I remember my math teacher at the time had started us off with a little one. And everybody, it seemed like everybody in the class seemed to have had a problem with solving these puzzles. Like, they were messing numbers up and getting the, you know, putting 2 numbers in the same row. So it almost reminds me of like a Sudoku puzzle. I guess that's why I like cryptography, because I'm trying to find out what the code is and, you know, what's missing and, you know, how to crack the code. I also like the digital forensics section because they would give you like a picture. You have to use a digital forensics tool to recover the message from the picture, and then they'll give you like an answer box, and they'll be like, what's the answer? Once you get the answers, you get the points, and you go up on the scoreboard. So that's what that's like. Like I said, I'm gonna try and get up here and go to these events so you guys can see them in real time. For each event tips, like I said, just go there, have fun. Don't, if you're a beginner, don't go there with the impression of like trying to show up and know everything and being embarrassed because you don't know much. Like, people are willing to help if you find, you know, nice people. Most of the events that I went to, people have wanted to help me, and they've helped me with no issue. Just the only thing for women, you know, you're gonna run into people that want to, like, these guys that want to mansplain and want to like just show off what they know and stuff like that. But I've never been to these events and like been to the point where it's like super uncomfortable, where I feel like my safety's put in jeopardy, because they do really good at making sure that, you know, you're comfortable and nobody's doing things that are, you know, like harassing you and stuff like that. Like, you're literally there learning how to build your skills in tech and build your skills in whatever field that you want to go in. Ways of blame. I think that's it. I hope that this inspires you to go to more events and get out and try them out. If you have come to the digital empire, you have come to the right place if you're looking to be great in this lifetime. Okay, there is going to be a blog post associated with this, and I'm going to give you guys some links and tips and more, I guess, more of what I come up with for these events and how they can help you. That's it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to comment down below if you've been to a hackathon event, what was your experience like, or a CTF event, and tell us what your experience like, and tell us what great ones we can go to. And I will see you guys in the next video.